You are in close proximity to the harbour, to the city, the beautiful mountains and the beautiful weather of Cape Town. And all the beautiful places were secured for white people. And the whole idea was to get blacks and coloureds and everyone who was not white into the Cape Flats area.
In de jaren 60 en 70 werd de wijk District 6 op last van het apartheidsregime ontruimd. De wijk lag op een mooie plek in Kaapstad en die werd aangewezen als gebied alleen voor blanken. In de wijk was er voor die tijd namelijk een wirwar van culturen. En blank en zwart leefden in harmonie samen. Zo ook Ikzaan Jacobs, die er zijn jeugd doorbracht.
Corner of Van der Leer Street and Constitution Street. So now we're just going to take a drive around into District 6 so that you can actually see the open spaces where houses once stood. No, they weren't houses, where homes once stood.
We rijden door District 6. Overal om je heen zie je kale vlaktes. De huizen zijn gesloopt en er is nog niets nieuws gebouwd. De sloop begon toen er in 1966 een wet kwam die rassenscheiding voorschreef. De Group Areas Act.
42 areas were affected by the Group Areas Act. District 6 is different in that not only did they forcibly remove us, but they also bulldozed down our houses.
Vanuit zijn kantoor heeft Birdie Fritz uitzicht op waar eens zijn huis stond. Volgens hem had de act een grote impact op de mensen en de sfeer in District 6.
Everyone talked about the group. And the group was represented by people, white men driving in a Volkswagen, white Volkswagen, with the number plate GG. And when we saw those people, they had to execute the Group Areas Act to remove people from District 6 to the different places, Hanover Park, Manenberg, those kind of places, Heideveld. And what happened when those guys came with a little piece of paper saying, in terms of the Group Areas Act, that you had to move. The Group Areas Act had an incredibly traumatic impact and effect on the whole community. It basically collapsed the community. Yeah.
District 6 werd in tegenstelling tot andere wijken gesloopt. De regering vond de huizen onbewoonbaar.
They didn't maintain the area so that it would reach a point where they could actually say that this is a slum area and these houses are derelict and it's unsafe for human occupation, and for that reason we have to demolish the houses. That was the excuse that they used.
De 60.000 inwoners van de wijk werden verdeeld over de stad. De zwarten bij de zwarten, de kleurlingen bij de kleurlingen en de Indiërs bij de Indiërs. De wijken werden ingedeeld op ras, zoals de regering het wilde. En zo kwam er een einde aan de multiculturele samenleving die de Volkswijk jarenlang was.
The type of community that everyone grew up in the same area. So it was a community with a lot of personal kind of values. And every child belonged to the neighborhood, not to your mother alone. So if a child did something wrong, all the neighbors would take control of that. Anyone could discipline you. It's not just the kind of romantic, very good place. They were everything. And that made the place cosmopolitan. It made the place, gave it its clear, cultural, colorful area, very colorful community.
Ikzaan neemt ons mee naar de plek waar ooit zijn ouderlijk huis stond.
This was a single-story house. We lived in the front room. And the landlord lived in the rest of the house. We didn't have electricity in the house. So we were 4 children and my mother and father. So we were 6 who lived in one room.
Hoewel de huizen niet perfect waren, vonden Birdie en Ikzaan dat geen probleem. Want er was buiten van alles te beleven.
One part of our life we had a mountain, we had the sea in front of us and the mountain in the back of us. And so the mountain became our playground, Table Mountain became our playground. We used to go do hunting in the mountain, we used to climb the mountain, school holidays in the afternoons. Also the sea, the harbor, you would just walk down to swim.
Birdie had een mooie tijd als kind en zag dat verschillende rassen en culturen goed samen konden leven. Dat was in strijd met de apartheidstheorie.
It was important for this government to get rid of the proof that people can actually live together, people of different cultures and colors and different religious persuasions. I think that's one of the most beautiful aspects of human beings, that the more different we are, the more we actually enjoy one another.
En zo komt het beeld op van een gezellige volkswijk waar iedereen met elkaar overweg kon. Toch waren er ook mindere kanten, zoals gangs. Maar daar had Ikzaan geen last van.
If a gang that operated down there fought with a gang operator down there, you could stand and be a spectator and just feel assured that you'll never be hurt because you're not a gang member. So it was the kind of gangs who respected elderly people. The problem they had with one another, it was their problem. But they respected other people who didn't belong to gangs.
De bedoeling was dat er na de sloop huizen voor blanken kwamen. Hier is niets van terechtgekomen. De grond is nog steeds onbebouwd en op korte termijn lijken er ook geen huizen te komen.
Yeah, it's dirty over District 6.
In een artikel in de kwaliteitskrant The Mail and Guardian van 14 maart staat het vuile spel beschreven tussen verschillende partijen, zoals de Rijkop projectontwikkelaars en de Belangenvereniging van oud-bewoners. De rechtbank moet uitkomst bieden over wie er recht heeft op de grond.
What perhaps should happen in District 6 is to give the land back to people who can prove that they were tenants, and not only tenants and landlords, but to also to have the process as a dignified process, not as the way the people are fighting now, because what big capital is also coming in here. There's a big development who wants to develop the land for very, very expensive, because that's prime land. Big capital can come out 8 million, 10 million and just buy it out again. And then all the real sense is sold out to the people.
Een oplossing lijkt zo nog niet gevonden. Teleurgesteld terugkijken op wat er allemaal is gebeurd heeft weinig zin. Het liefst kijken Birdie en Inks aan met een positieve blik vooruit.
Otherwise, we're just going to be very angry and not get anything done. But old President Mandela said to us, and I'm not saying don't forget history, but we are saying let the history be a reminder for us to reconcile and to become a nation of South Africans, not of coloureds and of Africans or white, but of a nation of South Africans.
It still saddens me, of course, but you know, it's something that you'll never get rid of. It's something that happened and you can't erase it. But what you can do is, instead of being sad all the time and look back into the past with sadness, is try your very best to look into the future with enthusiasm. And that's exactly what I'm trying to do with my life. To project into the future with enthusiasm.